Why don't we jump to Mr. Robot now, though, which a show that we've been following for right from the start. Um, Big fans of this show, even when I think the hype train for it slowed down quite a bit following season two, which is fairly, I think, critically. I don't want to say panned. It's not really panned. I think just critically not as beloved as other
Hmm.
seasons of the
Up and
show.
down.
Right, inconsistent perhaps. And man, I caught up on this show all in like the span of a week because I had fallen behind with watching Watchmen, the holidays, things like that, and like losing like this part of me that I've been following and really like been holding on to. And I think what I feel most impressed with this season, which did make both of our top tens this year, um, is when Robot first started. I think the thing I found most appealing was what's the psychological stuff going on here. And then it pretty quickly kind of turned into like the mission of things and how they're pulling things off. And Tyrell being this agent, and uh, Elliot's fight between who controls him or Mr. Robot. And then it really kind of came back around with this vision for the last couple episodes of who is Elliot? Like, what's the real Elliot? And it didn't have to necessarily like answer it for us, but I think it left us in a place where we're allowed to like kind of make our own understanding of it while giving us enough answers where I feel satisfied, not just totally like, why the hell did I watch this for 4 seasons? So I felt very like happy with the way that Eshmael wrapped it up. How are you feeling about the series finale and the last season as a whole?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I like the way they wrapped everyone up. And I think the way Tyrell went out, Price,
And
Dom,
Angela?
White Rose, Angela was definitely cool for shock value.
Yeah.
Capping off the season or starting off the season.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and she definitely seemed like the character that had kind of run out of rope coming into the season. So I guess it made sense.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I like that, especially the Dom Darlene stuff towards the back third of the season. I thought was incredibly strong, and everything at the airport was fantastic.
Yeah.
And the her Dom's Dark Army handler, I love that character. She was really menacing. It's the taxidermist. She
Yeah.
was a
Saying
it
Janice.
was yeah, Janet. That was funny seeing her have a small role in Maisel where she was being a normal person again. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Um, and of course, along the way with this season, we got Esmail doing his uh, film nerd stuff. The episode 5, which ends with the Central Park chase. That was a silent episode. They talk in the beginning and the end. That's it. Episode 7, where the stuff with Vera is literally structured like a 4-act play
Yeah.
on like one stage. That was really
Mm-hmm.
sick. Episode 9 had a really cool tracking shot. Episode, was it 11? Is this like alternate mind bending reality thing? And the finale obviously plays off that. And it was really funny too to see a lot of blog posts be like, uh, late season twist in episode. It's like all these people taking that like shit literally.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, did you not watch Mr. Robot at all? Why are you thinking there's like actually multiple like physical Elliots like this? What are you talking
Yeah.
about? Yeah, I thought that was funny just seeing people tell on themselves. But yeah, overall, I thought it was. I think it's satisfying to anyone who's stuck with the show. And um, from a plot perspective, the plot movements with F Society redistributing wealth and
Mm-hmm.
the Dark Army going down and White Rose going down. So that stuff all really worked. That was cool. And then also the character stuff worked as well. So yeah, really satisfying.
Yeah. You know, it, I wonder how much he kind of went into after the third season being like, I only want to do one more of these. Let's wrap this up, because it feels like some of it makes a lot of sense, and maybe it was where he wanted to go from the beginning. Like I think he knew Mr. Robot was part of like a split personality with Elliot, where these were like a coping mechanism for some deeper trauma that he had gone through. And those bones are kind of sprinkled throughout the season, especially the stuff with Krista. Um, but I wonder if the White Rose ending was a bit more like, okay, I want to wrap this up. Let's kind of get Price to become this like patsy almost in a way for some other things, like have him kind of downfall, and then Elliot kind of pull him into the scheme to like prop him back up. I don't know, just interesting to think about, and I don't know if we'll ever really get an answer with that. I did feel like the White Rose stuff was satisfying, even if maybe it felt like he went down a little too easily for how big and powerful he was. I
Sure.
really liked the episode though that fleshed him out as a character, where you get to
Yes.
see
Mhm.
him as a young rising up the ranks and kind of showing himself to his lover and all that very interesting stuff. Um, I don't know. I, you mentioned a lot of really awesome moments that happened this season, including like the 4 act play with Vera and things like that. Was there anything that maybe didn't work for you, or you felt like maybe was like a critique of this season in a sense?
Um, I mean, it's actually funny. It's the longest season of TV I've watched in a long ass time. 13 episodes. When was the last time we talked
Hmm.
about anything that long?
Uh,
I really don't know. Um,
yeah.
but I mean, Vera coming back, I kind of like forgot who Vera really was beyond the fact that he
Yep.
like killed Shayla early on. Like I really didn't remember what his significance was overall. Um,
Hmm.
then again, it was cool to see young Ma acting, so I'm with that.
Yeah.
Um, we got one little last bit of Leon, which really badass. That was cool. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's always
I
been an
was gonna
indulgent
say
show,
I didn't think that
so
part
it's
made
all
a lot of
good.
sense with Leon. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I don't know.
didn't think the part with yeah. I mean, like all of a sudden, the Dark Army is like this overarching force that has control of Janice and Dom, and doesn't ever really let go of anybody unless they die. And Leon's just like, yeah, I just got out, just didn't want to. It was a gun for hire, and now I'm doing this. It's like I don't know if that makes a lot of sense. Um, and I agree. I think for me, the Vera stuff, even though I really enjoyed the format of the episode where he really got to shine, I was left a little confused. Like, okay, so what was he, or what was his significance? Really, had to go back and read up on that. So, I don't know, maybe I'm telling myself as like a Mr. Robot head, right? But one thing I think that stood out for me seemed just really really strong to me, and it felt like it played a significant part into like the emotional impact of the season. So just really wanted to highlight that. Any final thoughts on Robot as a show in general? I can't remember ever watching. I can't remember another show like this, so I'm definitely gonna miss
Yeah, I think that's kind of the takeaway. It's just the breakout vehicle for a new voice in Sam Esmail. Someone who's really technically impressive, but also is not afraid to have different kinds of narrative.
it. Mhm.
So definitely a success, no doubt, and definitely a show I think people will look fondly on as the time goes on. So it was really a really fun ride, no doubt.
Absolutely, check it out if you haven't watched Robot.